never watched what I've done on America's Got Talent. In 2018, they went to Roast Battle and they said, we want someone to come and roast the judges. And so they had a few of us audition, and I said, look, I want to do it, but let me show you how I want to do it. And I showed them the character with wearing my tail and all that. And I was like, look, for a show like this is how it's going to work. You can't just have me looking like an angry fucking, retired porn director go up there just like, hey, Heidi Klum, you're fucking dumb, bitch. Like, it's going to look awful. But if you do it like this and make it really silly, it might work. And so I went out there, and it's a theater, 3,000 people, right? And this is the biggest stage I've ever been on. This is the biggest show pretty much in the world, essentially. And I went out there and had my ass handed to me harder than any person I pretty much know has ever had on stage. For 7 straight minutes, the audience booed and screamed at me violently to get off the stage.
Oh, fuck.
And the judges are pressing their buzzers one by one, and I start with Tyra Banks, and I'm just going down the line, and after every single person, they're just like, buzz, and the people are like, I can see everybody, and they're all holding their hands up in giant X's. They're screaming at me. I can't even hear myself think. But Simon is laughing his ass off and won't press his buzzer. So I'm up there. You're supposed to be up there for 2 minutes. I was up there for 7.
Fuck.
It was awful. And I walked off stage, and finally, it was all over. I got through it, and I just walked off stage, and I was like, what is that gonna look like? I cried on the way home, because that level of negative energy is impossible to avoid. It was swirling through me like I had done the worst drug I've ever done in my life. I felt sick, like I thought I was gonna throw up, and it took days to get it out of me. And it didn't air for 2.5 months. And for 2.5 months, I'm going, what the fuck am I gonna do? If they air this, I'm fucking finished. Like, I'm gonna look terrible. People are gonna think I don't know what it's gonna look like. And then it aired, and the internet fucking spoke up, and they were like, this is legendary. This is the coolest fucking thing we've ever seen on this show, because it's not for the people that watch the show.
Yeah.
It's for the people that don't watch the show.
Don't like the show, yeah.
And those people on the internet. So they started sharing the clip going, dude, look what he did to these people. He went out there and shoved it in their face.
So these people were just in love with the judges or something?
Yeah, 100%, dude.
Okay.
Yeah, they're this kind of crowd where the people that love that show love it so much.
Right. They don't want you to talk down on it and
of course not.
make it look
They're
bad.
idols, dude. They're icons. And so I was like, and so suddenly realized, and the thing is, the show really respected what I did because they understood the value of it. You have to either kill on that show or do something extremely memorable in a really different way. You can't be middle of the road, because middle of the road doesn't make good TV. And they realized that what I had done had never been done on that show before, and next thing you knew, they edited it in a way where I just look like I know exactly what I'm doing. You can't tell that I'm freaking the fuck out inside of me.
Yeah.
So, man, I got off that show, so then all of a sudden, the views started popping, and I mean, it's now, I think all of my clips on that show have over 100 million views in total.
Fuck.
Just because,
that's awesome.
Yeah, because that show is it's so big. But that clip got passed around to all the people that don't watch it. But then this year they invited me back to do it all over again because they realized there was merit in it, and the judges were like, I was like, they'll know what's coming this time. They can handle it.
So the judges that were hitting the buzzer, why were they hitting the buzzer? Because they thought,
because I'm talking shit, dude. I started the very first thing I said was to Tyra Banks, who is the host. And first of all, I come out there and I say, I'm here to inspire the world through happiness, positivity, and comedy. And they're all cheering, everybody's like, yeah. Mel B, the Spice Girls, I love this, yes. And then I turned to Tyra Banks and I said, Tyra, you have so much courage. It must be so difficult to host a show like this and still find a way to make it about you. And everything from there
just flipped.
Yeah, then everything from that point on was like, oh, fuck. Like it was, Mel B. I said like Miss Scary Spice. The only thing scarier than you is your solo career. And then the one I got the most flack for, which is one of my favorite jokes I've ever written. I said, Heidi Klum, you are magical. 4 children, yet your body appears that you haven't paid attention to any of them. And she looked at me and just went bam and buzzed so quick. Like, but Simon was ready for it. He was just ready to take it. Like,
That's awesome.
He talks shit on people. That's
Right.
the thing.
He does that.
I was like, these people ruin people's dreams
Right.
all day. These people come out on stage thinking that they're about to have their life changed, and they just look at him and go, "You're terrible."
Yeah.
That's soul crushing if you're not expecting that. But someone like me, who's been through the ringer of roast battle so many times, I was like,
Can't
I'm
hurt.
all right. It hurt.
It hurt though, yeah.
But it also, I was like, oh, well, now I'm resilient. Like nothing like that is ever going to happen again. What I think about is like, who can say they've been booed by that many people like individually? Because even like as sports teams, you're with a team of people. You go to another city and that city's like hates you, but you're with your team.
Right.
They
There's
hate
you and
the
all your
team.
boys.
Right. I was by myself.
Oh, God, dude.
So,
That's got to be an insane feeling.
the worst.
That's got to be insane.
But to come back this year and be able to do it again, even
Right.
though I didn't have an
That's gotta
audience,
feel really
and then I
good.
made the quarterfinals this year. I was in the top 25.
That's awesome.
So like, it was one of those things where it's like, I got mine.
Yeah.
And I made people understand that this is something to be valued. And that's really what happened when it hit the internet is people said like, all these people, like these celebrities shouldn't be upset. Who is this guy? They've had 40-year careers of nothing but success. They have so much money. They have everything. Why do they care that this little fucking tail is saying these things to them? And that's kind of the beauty of it, and kind of like sparked conversation of like, shake things
awesome.
up, dude.
Is it going to be the same judges this time when you go?
I already did it.
Oh, you already did it?
Yeah, I did.
Okay.
2020, I did it. I ended up doing 2 performances, but my first one was on March 14th, which is when lockdown started. So now I'm in the exact same theater, and now I'm looking at, instead of Heidi Klum was sick, so she wasn't there. Mel B had been cut off a couple years ago. So now I'm looking at Howie Mandel, Sofia Vergara, who I fucking love more than any. I'm like, she is my dream woman. And
funny.
Simon, and in the same 3,000 seat theater, there are now 3 people looking at me.
Oh,
and
That's
I'm doing the same thing.
That's weird too.
Awful.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah. Just again, like I'm like, this is I was ready for this experience. I was ready for these people again.
Yeah,
I was
to
ready
boo
to
you.
take
Wow.
it.
Yeah.
I was ready to laugh in their goddamn faces and flip my fucking tail at them and just like, and because they weren't there though, they also could really understand what I was doing.
Yeah.
And they could hear the jokes properly, and really it made it so they were all like, this is really funny. This is great. And so then I just kept moving through. And the final performance that I did on the show, for the live shows, was one of the things I'm most proud of in my comedy career. And I won't ruin it, but I read a storybook of roast jokes to them with illustrations of the jokes popping up on a giant screen behind me. And I'm so proud of it. And I really feel like I got mine. And that show, as many people think as many people shouldn't go on that show, you have to make it work for you. And I found a way to make it work for what I wanted to do without having to compromise who I was.
Right.
Yeah. That was very long-winded. I'm sorry I took all that time there.
That was fucking
No,
great.
yeah,
man.
that was good.
What a great fucking story, man.